Every sale we close in our business, particularly as a service-oriented small business owner, starts with an initial conversation. This is something that's on my mind right now, and a big part of this whole journey for me is moving away from outsourcing that first conversation coming into my world to a place where I am empowered and responsible for creating these first conversations myself. Hello there, my name's Paul Heron, and this is the From Zero to Marketing Hero podcast. This podcast is my year-long challenge to myself to create, post, upload a podcast episode every single day for 12 months in the hope that I can finally, after 5 years of being in business, uncover some of the tips and tricks that are required for me to be able to understand who my ideal client is, understand what their challenges are, and in line with my values in ethically responsible ways, have my ideal client come into my world on my terms. For those that have been following along, we've made it to day number 22. It's the start of week number 4, and I'm just so excited. Later on today, I'm going to be recording my first interview, which hopefully will be released later this week. And today on this particular episode, I'm just trying out a new piece of software. I've signed up to Riverside FM to record the interviews, but I just wanted to test it out today to see how it all goes. So if you have been following along, if there's any difference, if there's anything that you have that you could recommend, any tips, tricks, please reach out and let me know. I would love to hear from you. So the power of conversation, this is such an interesting topic. I have had many coaching conversations with my clients, with many different clients about the trouble that we have showing up to do the work that's required to start these initial conversations. For the large part of it over the last 5 years, for me personally, I've outsourced a lot of the marketing and the work required to start these conversations. All this work around getting my head around marketing was all about moving away from bark and finding a way to ethically, responsibly bring my ideal client, help them become aware of who I am, and to have them engage and reach out and start these conversations in a way that's in my control. But the more I think about it, and what I'm actually thinking about this week, is they're actually exactly the same process in many ways. Yes, I'm outsourcing some of the marketing, but that first initial conversation is something that is just so powerful. The thing that's mostly on my mind at the moment is the mindset that I bring to these interactions. I think I've fallen into some negative, let's just say, or reactive might be a better way to describe it, habits in terms of my outbound reach out. And I say that because the bark process is very reactive. You know, I can wait until I'm in the right state to buy leads to then reach out. I set up my initial profile maybe 3 years ago. I might have done one tweak to it since. I created a basic email sequence that new inquiries go into to help them provide a little bit more awareness about who I am, but I've never gone back and refined it and tested it. And the system that I've set up, the data that I record, is all centered around that first conversation. I reach out, people either respond back, but this spark process, it's about 50%. 50% of the leads I buy, I never have any form of communication. We don't start that initial conversation at all. And I have never done anything to try and understand how I can improve that. So my focus this week is going to be in developing a mindset that I'm going to bring to this idea of reaching out and starting conversation. There's no longer going to be a separation between the bark process and this new process that I want to create. It's one and the same. Conversations are just a critical element in terms of bringing people into my business. I've got a level of success in terms of once that conversation is started, albeit through purchasing these leads, which is okay, and I'm comfortable with that. And maybe that'll be a key part of this business strategy that I'm putting together that will remain. But the mindset I want to develop is to move away a little bit from this reactive process towards something that's a little bit more proactive and in my control. So the things that I've been thinking about this week that I can look at, I can revisit all the different touch points on the bark process. My bark profile, the way that I reach out, I've tried various different things, phone, email, message, but I've never really recorded any data in terms of what works or what's more successful. I've just done whatever I felt is right in the moment. And I think that's where there's a huge opportunity here. Because if I go back to the marketing principles that I've been talking about, one of the key elements is this continual cycle of continuous improvement about testing ideas against each other. And I think the more I think about it, this Spark process is the perfect place to start implementing that, because it is the only client acquisition tool system that I've got working for me at the moment. So it's the perfect place to start recording a little bit more data, start running some basic simple tests and trying to figure out how I can improve. And that might be that 50% of people I never ever talk to might be the one target that I can start to focus on and see if I can reduce that down a little bit. So I might leave it there for today. Just a short video today, testing out Riverside, talking about my mindset. If you're enjoying these videos and getting value, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It'll be hugely beneficial. If you have any comments, questions, feedback, or anything that you think can add value, if you think you would be a perfect guest to come onto the show, head over to paulheronlifecoaching.com. There's all the information you need there. You can join the Facebook group, which is the perfect place to start conversation and to get involved in the discussion. And I hope you all have a fantastic day. And until tomorrow, bye for now.